everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video we're going to be setting up our bullet journals for October, and I have a really cute theme prepared for you today, so let's just get right into it. So for quite some time now I've been wanting to do a Pusheen theme, and this is exactly what we're doing today. And given the fact that it's October, I thought I would make it, also about Halloween. Initially, I actually wanted to expand my Hello Kitty theme from last month and do like a Hello Kitty Halloween theme, but I thought that would be kind of boring for you guys to watch, so I wanted to switch things up a little bit. Thankfully, Pinterest had a ton of Halloween themed Pusheen illustrations, and I got inspired by those heavily, so I was very happy to see that I had a lot of things to choose from. As kind of a disclaimer, this theme is going to be all about the color purple. You will see me using one shade or another of purple pretty much in every spread, I think, so if you don't like the color, you might as well just skip the video. Throughout this video, you'll see me using both my Tombow brush pens, but also my Ohuhu brush pens, and the codes for everything that I used in this video will be left down in the description box. On another kind of random note, I wonder if you like the longer videos better than the short ones, because I've been posting a lot of these lately, and I want to know if you guys find them boring or, not entertaining. More often than not, after I'm done setting up my bullet journal, I am left with just about 3 hours worth of footage, because I really like to take my time, and I'm usually a very slow person when it comes to things that I love, and obviously turning 3 hours into something less than 30-20 minutes is pretty much impossible. And anyway, back to our cover page. You can see that it has a very witchy vibe to it, and it has a lot of Halloween elements that I always love drawing, such as skulls, you got the spiders and the candles as well. Everything is just really cute. Another thing that I insisted on doing with this page is creating kind of like a purple frame for it, and I was initially incredibly scared that it was going to look so messy, but it turned out not that bad, at least that's what I think. I was also kind of worried about the color that I'm going to use for the Pusheen cat, but in the end I went for this light gray kind of shade, which doesn't necessarily match the character exactly, but I think in the context of the theme looks pretty cohesive. Now it's time to move on to the quote page, which might actually be my favorite quote page of all time. The doodles here turned out so adorable, and you'll see the Pusheen cat in a bunch of different circumstances. You'll see her as a bat, you'll see her in a pumpkin, and then of course I've got a lollipop and a skull to keep the Halloween theme going. And when it comes to the quote itself, this one reads, "Wishing you a happy Halloween." I thought it was a cute little pun that I found also on Pinterest, so One thing about me is that I love adding sparkles and stars to pretty much every theme that I make, so throughout this one, be sure to spot all of those. I think coloring all these doodles in was my favorite part of the entire theme, because they're just so fun to color, and I'm also a very big lover of the color purple. It's been my favorite color for a million years now, and usually my favorite colors used to switch up every couple months, but I have been pretty committed to this exact shade of purple that I used for the Pusheen bat. was all for the cover page, and we're ready to move on to a very exciting new spread. This is none other than my daily log and calendar spread, which I've actually been enjoying quite a lot recently because it's been helping me stay organized and focused on the things that I actually need to get done throughout every month. This is quite a doodle heavy kind of spread because I had all these crazy ideas and I didn't know which ones to actually go for, so I was like, what if I do everything? Therefore, I am outlining this cute haunted house right now, and next to it there's also a bunch of pumpkins and the Pusheen cat, of course. This one has to be in every spread. This is also a layout that I haven't used in quite a bit because normally I would have the calendar spread out onto both pages, which left a tiny bit of space for the daily log. This month, however, I thought I would make things even and dedicate each page to either of them. I am gonna highlight the weekend days of the month, and I'm actually gonna ask you to not judge how weird these lines look. For the love of me, I can never make them fully straight. And here comes the most exciting part, the part where we sit down and color the haunted house. I will, of course, use a lot of purple for it, but I had to introduce another color, and I thought gray would be pretty fine for it. It keeps things relatively neutral without ruining the whole vibe of the theme. When it comes to the windows of the house, I was initially reluctant on making them all these bold different colors like orange, yellow, green even, but I think the end result looks very nice, and you'll see in a second that it really gives you a Halloween kind of vibe. These two Pusheen ghosts floating around were so adorable. I'm actually obsessed with them. It's time to also give some love to these pumpkins on the other page, and I'm coloring all of them in with a really adorable shade of orange. As you can see, some of them have spooky faces and some of them don't, but I thought some diversity would be good in there. first spread is done and we're moving on to my trackers, which I think took the longest. For this spread, I wanted to set the scene in a very cartoonish, very spooky kind of city, so that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm drawing a couple of houses all over the page, and this took quite a bit because I am obsessed with straight lines and I need everything to be perfect, so I'm using a ruler. Since I think we can all agree that the houses are not enough for this spread, I thought I would also add these Pusheen witches flying around and having the moon in the background. They're pretty tiny, but I think you can still get the whole point. To make things even cuter, I'm adding this shade in the back of the houses because I thought that the spread as it was might have been too boring for what I was trying to achieve with this theme. However, I think we all know that bullet journaling isn't necessarily about turning your spreads into works of art. I think it's really a matter of knowing your priorities. So if you're only using your bullet journal to stay on top of your daily tasks, that's totally fine. And clearly you don't need to be using all these colors and all these doodles and all this crazy stuff that I spend quite a lot of time doing. We're just gonna pretend this never happened. So anyway, I'm almost done outlining all the boxes for my trackers. I decided to track 6 habits this month. I haven't decided what those will be yet, but we'll see when the month actually comes around. For the houses, I'm using the same shades of gray and the same shades of purple. They don't look so good at first, but you know, you gotta trust the process. For the shade, I am of course using a darker purple to make it obvious that this is in fact the shade and not just another row of buildings. This moon that I'm coloring right now obviously is not incredibly symmetrical. It's not like a perfect circle. I didn't realize to use a cup or a mug or something, but I hope it doesn't look that bad. If you pay close attention to the way I'm coloring these bats, you notice that I use the brush side of the pen to get most of the area colored, and then for the details I use the fine tip of it. I find this technique to work pretty much every time. We are done with this very time-consuming spread and we are moving on to simpler things, starting with my playlist. the layout is almost identical to the one that I used last month and 2 months ago and 3 months ago, and you get the idea. For the doodle of the spread, I'm doing a cute little vampire Pusheen in a coffin because, gotta get the Halloween theme going. I'm not exactly sure what went through my mind when I thought it would be a good idea to color some of the boxes, but if I'm being honest, I don't think I minded that much. I hope it's not ugly to you guys. When it comes to my review spread, I am genuinely keeping things as simple as they could be. I am highlighting a section where at the end of the month, I'm just going to write about my general impression, what I liked about the month, what I didn't like, and so on. And this box on the other side of the page is for my movies and my books of the month. Of course, I still had to include a doodle, and for this one I chose a very wise Pusheen cat, which is reading a book that probably contains secrets we will never know. That was it for this spread, and we're moving on to the last thing that I want to show you today, which is my first weekly. The doodle on this spread I think is the most complex one that I've done throughout this theme because it has so many little details and so many overlapping little details that I was incredibly scared to go in with my fine liner. It's this cute tea party between Pusheen ghosts in a very Halloween-ish setting. It was definitely fun to draw so many floating things though, that's for sure. The coloring was pretty difficult because everything is so tiny, but I think I still managed to do pretty good. When it comes to the boxes that I am now creating, they're pretty plain and simple, nothing crazy, and these are the only things that I am adding to the spread. There's no mini calendars this month, no goals or anything like that. I figure that the space is important, and more often than not I don't use all these extra things that I add. And that, friends, was my video for today. I really hope it inspired you, and maybe you want to try this theme in your own bullet journal this month. I certainly had so much fun creating all of these spreads, and in case you want to see some more of them, all of them will be posted on my Instagram account, which is, by the way, linked in the description box below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and all that stuff, and I will see you next time with a new cute video.